Now to another flashpoint for the government, the deepening row between the Attorney-General and the judiciary. Jarrod Bleijie inflamed tensions this week by revealing confidential discussions he'd had with the state's second most senior judge, Justice Margaret McMurdo. He disclosed the embarrassing details, apparently as payback for Justice McMurdo raising the lack of recent female appointments to the bench. One top QC says he should resign. Now one of the state's longest-serving Supreme Court judges has weighed in.
I, Jarrod Bleijie, do sincerely promise and swear that I will, to the best of my judgment and ability, faithfully advise and assist the Governor.
At the age of just 30, Jarrod Bleijie became Queensland's most senior lawyer. Not since the late 1800s has an Attorney-General been so young. But already he's racked up a list of critics.
It's really difficult to conclude otherwise than that he should go and do something else.
The latest row centres on the President of the Court of Appeal, Margaret McMurdo. At a conference last week, she pointed out that of the last 17 judicial appointments, just one has gone to a woman, raising the question of unconscious bias. The attorney responded by revealing their private discussions over a replacement to the Court of Appeal, implying she put forward her husband and another man. It's drawn criticism from some of the state's most senior legal figures.
I thought it was a serious mistake for him to disclose publicly what he'd been told confidentially. Then to go further and say, moreover, she did recommend, and he didn't put it as broadly as this, but this was the implication. She did recommend her husband and a friend, is just a personal attack. And I thought that was deplorable.
Yeah, so thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
Mind sitting down? For 9 years, Walter Sofronoff QC was Solicitor General, the government's top legal advisor. He quit last week with a one-line letter. Now unshackled, he's let fly against his old boss.
Having chosen to disclose the content of his conversation with the President of the Court of Appeal, he also did what I think is a very nasty thing in implying that she had put her husband forward.
Is it defamatory?
Yeah, of course it's defamatory. It's defamatory to say of somebody, you have put forward your relative or friend in order to advance the family interest.
And what reflections do you have on his decision to breach that confidentiality?
It bothers me very much indeed that of all people, the Attorney-General would do a thing like this.
Well, you think it's unethical?
I think it's reprehensible.
He's called on Mr Bleijie to resign. Corruption fighter Tony Fitzgerald has also weighed in, saying it is appalling that a junior solicitor appointed to a position which is unsurprisingly far beyond his competence and experience has betrayed her honour's confidence and defamed her. His hubris is breathtaking. George Fryberg says to restore trust, the attorney should apologise.
All lawyers at some stage in their career make mistakes. We're a combative profession, and sometimes we go too far in things we say or do. The good ones recognise their mistake and apologise.
But Jarrod Bleijie isn't backing down and says his comments were no accident.
So you consciously thought about revealing the contents of that private conversation?
Well, I thought it was important in the public interest to get on record that there is no unconscious bias that we were accused of. There is a process for judicial appointments, and it's a lengthy process.
He also has the support and encouragement of the Premier.
The President of the Court of Appeal, Justice McMurdo, has on other occasions also chosen to enter the political arena and criticise this government, the government I lead. Now, if you want to go into the political arena, the public arena, then you have to be prepared that people will respond and defend their position. So any suggestion this has been an attack from the Attorney-General is nonsense, it's rubbish.
Heather Douglas is a professor of law at the University of Queensland. What does it mean when someone like Walter Sofronoff chooses to make such incendiary comments about the Attorney-General?
I think we have to take it seriously, all of us. I think we have to really be starting to worry when there's this real breakdown between people who are very close to the Attorney-General and really see him at his work every day. What is going on here?
This feud follows a series of clashes with the judiciary, including George Fryberg over the anti-bikie laws and the failed attempt by the Attorney-General to overrule the Supreme Court and jail pedophiles indefinitely.
When we have basically an Attorney-General who's throwing insults essentially at members of the judiciary, it doesn't make for a robust and independent judiciary. It really undercuts the judiciary, and I think that's a real concern.
Tim Carmody QC is the only serving judge to offer a public comment on the matter. He was appointed Chief Magistrate last year. He said, "As far as I'm concerned, it is business as usual. As head of jurisdiction, I've had many private conversations with the Attorney-General on a wide range of issues, including judicial appointments. I envisage having many more similar exchanges without hesitation." The Attorney says this legal drama is just part of a healthy system.
Both Labor and LNP and the judiciary. Robust debate is good. The Chief Justice said robust debate is good for democracy, and long may it continue, and I suspect it will.
Well, he seems to be adopting Jack Lang's theory of politics. Never complain, never explain, never resign, never apologise.